Hello, Jack. How are you?
Hi, Elena. I'm good, thank you. How about you?
I'm doing great. Welcome, everyone, to our podcast. I'm Elena.
And I'm Jack. Today, we're going to talk about studying at universities in the United States.
Yes, this is a very exciting topic. But before we start, let's go over some key words that we'll use today. These are important words that you might hear during our conversation.
Good idea. Here are the words. 1. University, a place where people go to study after high school. 2. Campus, the area where the university buildings are, like classrooms, libraries, and dorms. 3. Scholarship, money that a student gets to help pay for school. You don't have to pay it back. 4. Degree, a qualification you get after finishing your studies at university. 5. Professor, a teacher at a university. 6. Tuition, the money you pay to attend university. 7. Dorm, a place where students live while they study. 8. Lecture, a lesson or class where the professor talks and students listen. 9. International student, a student who comes from another country to study. 10. Admission, the process of getting accepted into a university.
Now that we know the key words, let's start talking about what it's like to study at a university in the United States. Jack, can you tell us why so many people want to study in the U.S.?
Sure. The United States has some of the best universities in the world. Many of them are famous, like Harvard, Stanford, and MIT. These universities offer high-quality education and great opportunities for students.
That's true. Another reason is that U.S. universities have a lot of different programs. Whether you want to study engineering, art, business, or science, you can find a program that fits you.
Yes, and students can also learn many skills, like how to think critically, work in teams, and solve problems. These skills are very useful in life and work.
Jack, can you explain what a university campus is like in the U.S.?
Of course. A campus is usually very big. It has many buildings, like classrooms, libraries, gyms, and dorms. There are also places to eat, like cafeterias or coffee shops. Some campuses even have parks or lakes.
Wow, that sounds amazing. I think living on campus can be fun. You can meet new friends and join activities, like sports or clubs.
Yes, and that's another special thing about studying in the U.S. Universities offer many activities outside of classes. For example, students can play sports, join music groups, or even volunteer in the community.
That's great, but studying in the U.S. can be expensive, right?
Yes, tuition can be very high, but many students get scholarships to help pay for their education. Some universities also have part-time jobs for students, so they can earn some money while they study.
I've also heard that professors are very helpful. Is that true?
Absolutely. Professors in the U.S. encourage students to ask questions and share their ideas. They also meet with students outside of class to give extra help or advice.
That's wonderful. It sounds like studying in the U.S. is a great experience.
It is, but it's also a lot of hard work. Students have to study a lot, write papers, and do group projects.
That's a good point, Jack. It's important to stay focused and manage your time well.
Yes, and it's also important to take care of yourself. Eat healthy, get enough sleep, and make time to relax.
I agree. Studying at a university is not just about learning from books. It's also about growing as a person and preparing for the future.
That's so true, Elena. Studying at a university in the United States is about more than just academics. It's also about experiencing a new culture and meeting people from all over the world.
Exactly. Many universities in the U.S. have students from many different countries. This makes it a very diverse and exciting place to study.
Yes, and being an international student can be a unique experience. You get to learn about American culture while also sharing your own culture with others.
That's such a great opportunity. But Jack, do you think it's hard for international students to adjust to life in the U.S.?
It can be a little challenging at first. The language, food, and even the way people interact might feel different. But most universities have special programs to help international students.
Oh, like orientation programs?
Yes. Orientation programs help students learn about the campus, meet other students, and get comfortable in their new environment. Universities also have advisors who can help with questions about classes, visas, or even homesickness.
That's really helpful. And speaking of visas, I think international students should know about the F1 visa.
Good point, Elena. The F1 visa is for students who want to study in the US. They need to apply for it after they get admitted to a university.
And once they have the visa, they can come to the US and start their studies. It's important to follow all the visa rules, like studying full-time and not working off campus without permission.
Right, but many students can work on campus, like in the library or cafeteria. It's a good way to earn a little extra money and meet new people.
That's true. Another thing international students should know is that they might need health insurance. Most universities require it, and they often have their own plans for students.
That's a great tip, Elena. And I think it's also important for students to join clubs or groups on campus. It's a fun way to make friends and feel more connected.
Yes, and there are so many options. There are cultural clubs, sports teams, music groups, and even clubs for hobbies like photography or cooking.
That sounds fun. Joining clubs can also help students improve their English skills, especially if they practice speaking with their friends.
That's a great way to learn. And what about classes, Jack? How are they different from other countries?
Good question. In the US, classes are usually very interactive. Professors expect students to ask questions and participate in discussions.
I like that. It makes learning more interesting.
It does. And students often have to do a lot of assignments, like essays, group projects, and presentations. It's a good mix of individual and team work.
It sounds like students need to be organized to keep up with everything.
Definitely. Time management is very important for university students in the US.
That's true, Jack. Time management really makes a big difference. Students need to balance their classes, homework, and activities to stay on track.
And it's not just about studying all the time. Students should also take breaks and enjoy their free time.
Absolutely. There are many ways to relax and have fun on campus. For example, students can go to sports events, watch movies, or hang out with friends in the student center.
Yes, and some campuses even organize special events, like concerts, festivals, or game nights. These are great opportunities to take a break and meet new people.
It sounds like there's always something to do. But Jack, what if a student feels homesick or stressed?
That's a good question. Most universities have counseling centers where students can talk to someone if they're feeling homesick, stressed, or worried.
That's really helpful. Talking to someone can make a big difference, especially for students who are far away from home.
Exactly. And there are also support groups for international students where they can share their experiences and help each other.
I think that's a wonderful idea. Feeling connected is so important when you're in a new country.
It is. And another thing that helps is exploring the local area. Many students enjoy visiting nearby cities, parks, or museums on the weekends.
That sounds fun. It's a great way to learn more about the culture and history of the United States.
Yes, and it can make the whole experience more exciting. Students often discover new foods, music, and traditions when they explore.
Speaking of traditions, I think American holidays are really interesting. Many international students enjoy celebrating holidays like Thanksgiving or the 4th of July.
That's true. It's a chance to experience something new and spend time with friends. Some students even get invited to celebrate holidays with local families.
That sounds like a special experience, and it shows how studying in the U.S. isn't just about academics, it's also about building relationships and learning about the world.
You're absolutely right. It's a time to grow, both personally and academically.
And even though it can be challenging at times, it's also very rewarding. The skills and experiences students gain will stay with them for a lifetime.
That's so true, Elena. The experiences students have while studying in the U.S. can really shape their future. They learn not only from their classes but also from the people they meet and the challenges they overcome.
Exactly. And one of the most valuable things is the network students build. Meeting classmates, professors, and professionals can open doors to many opportunities.
Yes, networking is a big part of studying in the U.S. Universities often host career fairs, workshops, and alumni events where students can connect with others in their field.
That's a great way to learn about internships and jobs. Speaking of internships, I think they're a big part of education in the U.S. right?
They are. Many students do internships during their studies. It's a chance to get real-world experience in their field and learn how things work outside the classroom.
That sounds very practical. And internships can also help students decide what kind of job they want in the future.
Exactly. Plus, having internship experience can make it easier to find a job after graduation. Employers like to see that students have worked in their field.
That's true. And I've heard that some students also do research projects with their professors.
Yes, that's another great opportunity. Many universities encourage students to take part in research even as undergraduates. It's a chance to work on exciting projects and learn more about their subject.
That sounds amazing. And it's another way for students to build strong relationships with their professors.
Exactly. Professors can be great mentors and often write recommendation letters for students when they apply for jobs or graduate programs.
That's so helpful. I think it shows how much support students can get while studying in the U.S.
Definitely. But it's also important for students to stay proactive. They should ask questions, seek advice, and make the most of the resources available to them.
That's a great point, Jack. Universities have so many resources, like writing centers, career offices, and tutoring services. Students should use them whenever they need help.
Exactly. And one more thing I think is important is staying open to new experiences. Studying in the U.S. is a chance to grow, try new things, and step out of your comfort zone.
That's so true. Every experience, big or small, is a chance to learn something new.
Absolutely, Elena. Every moment counts, and students should embrace both the challenges and the joys of studying in the United States. It's a time to grow, explore, and prepare for an exciting future.
Yes, Jack, studying at a university in the U.S. offers so much world-class education, cultural diversity, new friendships, and unforgettable experiences.
And let's not forget the skills and confidence students gain. Whether it's critical thinking, teamwork, or leadership, these are skills that will help them throughout their lives.
Exactly. And for international students, the experience of living in a new country teaches them how to adapt and be independent.
That's a great point, Elena. It's not just about learning from books, but also about learning about life. And it's okay to make mistakes along the way because that's part of growing.
Very true, Jack. So, to all our listeners, if you're thinking about studying in the United States, remember that it's a big step, but it's also a rewarding one. Take your time to plan research universities and think about what you want to achieve.
Yes, and don't forget to enjoy the journey. Make friends, try new things, and be open to learning in and out of the classroom.
We hope this podcast has given you some useful information and inspired you to explore studying in the U.S.
Thank you so much for listening. If you enjoyed this episode, please like our podcast, leave a comment, and share it with your friends and family.
And don't forget to subscribe to our channel so you won't miss our next episodes.
We really appreciate your support, and we're excited to bring you more conversations like this.
Take care, everyone, and good luck with your English learning and your dreams of studying abroad.
Goodbye, and see you next time.